work trips, kids sporting event trips, etc. Route 1 is the main road connecting Fort Belvoir with the city of Alexandria. Recently, Alexandria City and Fairfax County, along with other local governments in the area, participated in the Route 1 Multimodal Alternative Analysis, a transit study led by the Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation. The study recommended that Route 1 have Metro expanded from Huntington south to Haifa Valley, and that dedicated bus rapid transit, BRT lanes, to connect to Woodbridge. In March, Mount Vernon Supervisor Jerry Holland wrote a letter to the Northern Virginia Transportation Authority urging for funding. Currently, Northern Virginia Transportation Authority and the Virginia Department of Transportation have not allocated any funding to these efforts. Would you support an extension of the yellow line? And please inform the audience of your views on improving transportation on Route 1.
I live about 5 doors off of Route 1 in Old Town, so I can certainly identify with the current state of Route 1, which is an overlooked, underfunded part of the 45th District, and really a key part of Virginia. I have a vision of Route 1 where we have great neighborhood villages with affordable workforce housing, with local restaurants, with recreational opportunities, not the current situation where you basically have to walk from one Tidal Max to another Tidal Max and risk your life trying to cross the street. We have a plan in place thanks to the leadership of Senator Puller and Delegate Somerville that lays out a roadmap for the future of Route 1, including eventually much needed metro to Haifa Valley. It starts with ensuring a consistent width of Route 1 down its length to avoid bottlenecks, leading to bus rapid transit, and proving the concept of alternative transportation to eventually yield metro for the people who live here. In Alexandria, we're very close to opening a new metro station, and we know the enormous economic development, housing opportunities, and convenience it can bring.
Well, this is a very easy one for me because I actually ride the yellow line every day. I support investments in public transit infrastructure so it can be safe, reliable, and keep cars off the road. So yes, I would support an extension of the yellow line, and I would also support efforts to promote transportation options along Route 1, including widening the road to allow for rapid bus transit as well as improving walkways. I think this will be good for our transportation infrastructure as well as for economic development.
I used to live 2/10 of a mile down the street and relish the opportunity to be able to walk to Huntington Metro. What was unfortunate about Huntington Metro was how many people drove it. So most certainly, I would support extending the yellow line, frankly, as far as funding will allow it to go. But it's not exclusive to the Metro line. We have to have the web of transportation infrastructure that will support people getting to and from. Transit-oriented development, like Craig talked about, what we've seen on the Orange Line through Arlington is most certainly an opportunity where we take advantage of the metro, of the buses, of bicycle and pedestrian-friendly roads that enable people to get around, to get where they need to be, where they want to be, easily with low cost, so they don't rely on their car.
So I would also support extension of the yellow line. I would support basically widening Route 1, making sure that the 6 lanes to 4 lanes and going back and forth, it doesn't make any sense. It just leads to bottlenecks. I do support that. I don't think it's the only alternative though. I've talked with Mark Sickles a lot about this, and he points out that right near Fort Belvoir, there's an abandoned spur that could connect right to Franconia Springfield on the Blue Line. That abandoned railway spur would be a lot cheaper, and Fort Belvoir, let's face it, is the largest employer in this area. We've got 100,000 or so cars going in. If half of them were to take the metro in, we could take a lot of traffic off the most crowded route that I know of, which is the route from Alexandria down 95 down to Fredericksburg. There are a lot of means of transportation. These things tend to get very controversial. Witness the Arlington streetcar. There are things that are very dear to my heart. There are principles I have. When it comes to transportation, I need to hear from you. I need to know what issues you care most about, because some of it involves difficult trade-offs.
Like my colleagues, I do support widening Route 1, and I do support extending the metro, and here's how I think about it. I think there are 3 kinds of traffic going down Route 1, and I sit in it when I come down to go to the Hopkins House offices and when I come down to go to Hopkins House. One of them are the folks who live here, you guys. Second are the workers who are driving through here either into DC or out to Fort Belvoir. And the third are the hundreds of people who work right off Route 1 in the stores and restaurants. And as we think about transportation, I think we absolutely have to grow the yellow and blue line. We absolutely need a dedicated funding source for Metro. We absolutely need to widen the road, and we need to make it cost effective so that people who are working in jobs right on Route 1 are able to take public transportation at the hours they need it, i.e. late at night to go home from a restaurant or a store, in a way that they can actually afford on the wages they earn, which is also why we need to work on affordable housing and wage rates as well. Thank you so much.